Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time. My name is Amanda, and today we are doing a little chit chat video. I need to take these braids out because while they may look decent from a distance, they're not. My scalp is screaming at me right now. I need to wash my hair so bad. So I decided if I'm gonna take my hair down, I might as well film like a little chit chatty video. So I had posted on my community tab on YouTube as well as on my Instagram. Are y'all following my Instagram? I feel like you should. It's linked down in the description box. I'm trying to be better with posting on there. I'm not the best. I'm working on it. But I had also posted in my stories on Instagram questions people had for me. So I got a good amount. So I figured we would film this video, take these dusty braids down, and it's been like a month. I think it's been a month since I had these. It's just like a braided ponytail is what it is. But y'all, it's ready to come out. So let's just get started. So what I have in front of me to help me like with this process, I have a little mini mirror. I'm also gonna be using my camera, so pray for me on that. I have two sets of scissors, a big pair and a tiny pair, and I have like a little edge brush. I'm gonna use this to kind of like get the braids out. But I'm gonna start off by, I need to actually take, there, this ponytail holder. Take this ponytail down. Y'all, I'm so ready to take these braids out. My scalp is screaming. I'm gonna start off first by just, I have a garbage bag down here too for me to put the hair in. I'm gonna start by just kind of like chopping them for now, and then slowly start unraveling them. Okay, so let's start off with the questions. Of course, you know, I'm gonna get a bunch of relationship questions, which I don't mind. You know, like I show my boyfriend Reggie on this video a lot. You guys see him all the time, so it's not a big question. If it was anything that like I didn't feel comfortable answering, I just wouldn't answer it. So someone asked me, just, I guess it's just kind of like a generic question. The question pretty much is relationship soulmate. I'm not sure if you're asking me if I believe in relationships, if I believe in soulmates, or if I think that like Reggie's my soulmate. I honestly don't believe in soulmates, y'all. I don't think they actually exist. I think that you kind of just like meet people in your lifetime and you kind of just decide that you like people and you work on it. I don't believe there's like a soulmate out there for anyone. If you're out there searching for your soulmate, I mean, that's fine. I just don't personally believe it to be an actual thing. I feel like people probably will encounter multiple people in their lifetime that they think is their soulmate. It's not something I was chasing. I was just more so looking for someone that I felt I was compatible with and that we could, you know, work on it together and make something work. So no, I don't believe in soulmates. Clearly I believe in relationships, but do any of y'all feel like you found your soulmate, or do you guys, anybody feel like they're searching for their soulmate? Let me know, because I hear people throw out that term a lot, like they're my soulmate. What is that other word? There's another phrase that people use. They use a lot when they're describing, I don't know, but I don't know. I personally don't believe in soulmates, but to each their own. I feel like me and Reggie have a lot of things in common. I feel like we also have a lot of things that are not in common. So, and I feel like that's going to be with anybody you meet. So I don't know what would make someone your soulmate, because it can't be your similarities. Because I feel like if you are too similar with a person, that's a really, I don't know if I'd want to be in a relationship with anybody who was like super similar to me. I like having some differences. It gives me different perspectives on things. But yeah, I might as well just hit up all the like relationship-y kind of ones from jump, so I don't have to like jump back and forth on that subject. So someone said, is marriage in the future? I mean, I think so. I think so. We talk about it all the time, but I'm not the one who does the proposing. So that would be more so a question for Reggie. But it is definitely something we talk about. We've talked about it since we met. One of the things he told me when we first met was that he was looking to get married, and that was his purpose in dating right now. And that's something I've always known about. And we talk about it all the time. We talk about future, we talk about life, we talk about when we get married. We just talk about that. So yeah, I think, you know, it's definitely in the future. When, I don't know. But, you know, we haven't even been together for 2 years, y'all. Me and Reggie have been together for like, I think at this point it's like close to 1.5 years. So yeah, you know, things come with time, you go. Things come to, and we've only been living together for, I moved in here in October, and it's, y'all, what month is it? It's June now. So marriage will be, yes, marriage is in the future. There was another question as well where someone asked me, do I think Reggie and I will get married? Yes, I think we'll get married. When, I don't know, but yeah, I think we will. You know, I like him. He seems to like me for the most part. I do get on his nerves, but you know, he does get on my nerves too, so such is life. Someone said, what are my new updates? I don't really have any new updates. I feel like it's kind of been the same the past few months. I have just been working. We've done a good amount of traveling. I did do a little update on a video recently. We've done a good amount of traveling over the past, since the start of the year. Like, we ended the year in, last year we ended it in London, and then we spent New Year's in Paris, and then in March we went to Belize, and then did we go? We've done trips, little trips here and there. Where else have we been, y'all? I feel like we've been on other trips. Oh yeah, we went to Italy for his birthday last month. We also went to, have we done any, I feel like we've done some local trips. Like, we flew to LA one weekend. We flew to Chicago last weekend. But yeah, just been traveling, working, nothing like major updates. I'm still working on getting the apartment to how I want it. The next thing is a couch. I've kind of been like searching the internet for couches that I want. I still have my old couch here. We kind of got sidetracked with that just because we had so many trips and things we were planning for that I had kind of put that on the back burner. But I'm focused now. I found a couch that I want. I saw actually someone posted it on TikTok. It's really cute, and it was a pretty good price, so I really like it. There was also, you know, this couch from IKEA, but so yeah, a couch is kind of like the next major thing that I'm working on for us. And then as far as the rest of the decorating in here, I would like to do some painting in here just because the walls in certain areas are kind of banged up. I don't know if you guys seen it. I'm not gonna switch the camera, but on this major wall, like behind our TV, it's red. Reggie painted it red way before I moved in. He likes it. He wants to keep it red, which is fine, but it kind of just needs to be like touched up, cleaned up a little bit. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I am heading next week. I'm going to spend a week with my family in Mississippi. We always do like a family reunion kind of get together around the 4th of July because that was my granddad's birthday. So we always go to Mississippi where my family is from. So we'll be at my auntie's house this year. It'll be actually really good this year because it's typically, for my immediate family, it's just usually me and my mom who go. That's not true. The past couple years we've taken my nieces with me, my little nieces, my twin nieces. Have I ever showed y'all my nieces? My little Mar and Viv. I know they watch this video, so hey girls, hey Mar. They're coming. They've come the past couple years, but my brother and his new wife are coming this year too, so that'll be cool. What else? Yeah, I think that's kind of like all I have for like life updates. Hopefully it's almost summertime. Hopefully, you know, there'll be a lot of fun things happening this summer. I'm planning on being, you know, active and whatnot. Speaking of being active, someone asked me if I still run with my running group. I have not ran with them in a long time, y'all, and it's crazy because I like miss my running group so much. And it's simply just because, who's asking this question? Oh, Arthur Shaw. Hey girl, how are you? You asked me this question. It's just because I moved kind of far. Well, it's not really far. I'm still here in the Bronx, but I used to be able to walk to my running group. I used to walk to them all the time, it would take me an hour to walk there, which sounds like a long ways. It actually wasn't that bad. I used to actually really enjoy that walk, but now I've moved like much further up north, and it's just hard to, ooh, not my hair coming out. It's hard to make it up there at nighttime, like for Tuesday, like our runs Tuesday night are at 6 p.m. and it's just, it's hard to get up there. I have to take a bus to the train and then the vice versa coming back. And so, but usually we get done running. Runs usually end around like 8 p.m. So it just takes forever to get home. So I just haven't been as motivated to make it out there, especially during the winter on like Tuesday nights. I just was like, if it's cold, like having to take the bus to the train to go run and then take the train to the bus to come home, it just was not appealing to me. But I miss them so much. I absolutely adore my running group. They're probably like the best group of people that I've had the pleasure of meeting since I moved to New York. Amazing people. So I definitely want to get back to running because y'all, I have gotten so out of shape. I've been running here and there. Like me and Reggie went for a run yesterday morning. We do this little loop around where we live. It's like 2.5 miles, and we did that run yesterday morning. But I'm not conditioned, y'all. And I've gained a lot of weight. I feel like I've gained a lot of weight. I think since last year, okay, it's a lot of weight for me. Probably since this time last year, I've put on probably like 10 pounds, which is a lot for me because I'm only 5'2". So 10 pounds on me, I feel like it looks like I've gained 20 pounds. So I definitely want to get back into working out. I went to the gym for the first time in forever the other day. And that went okay. I just have a hard issue with the gym because I'm not very knowledgeable as far as like weight training and the machines and stuff, because when I used to go to the gym in the past, I always worked out with a trainer. So I didn't really have to think about it. They just told me what to do and I just did it. So that was always easy. So like doing it on my own is not, I just don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know which machines work out what. And it's intimidating when you go there to the gym and it's like, the machines are always taken, and then to be like, are you using this next? Can I have this next? I don't know, girl. But my gym does do classes, which is kind of fun. But when I went last week, I just did the treadmill. I ran on that and I did the stair climber. And I did a little bit of the weight machine, but it was pretty busy in there. So all the machines I was interested in using were occupied at the time and I just didn't feel like waiting. So I ended up just leaving. I was gonna go today, but then I remembered it was a holiday. Today is Juneteenth, Monday. So I was like, it's gonna be busy in there. I'm not even gonna do it to myself. I attempted to do a home workout today because Reggie has like a little gym set up in here and use his free weights, but they're just too heavy. He has like 25-pound free weights, and the exercises I wanted to do, those weights, I couldn't do many reps because the weights are just too heavy. I need like 10 to 15-pound weights. So I should probably order some lighter weights. But yes, to answer your question, no, I haven't run with my running group in forever, and I feel horrible about that. So, and she also asked me, how's my flight attendant friend? Y'all talking about Frankie? Frankie is good, y'all. Frankie is good. I haven't talked to him in a while. Well, that's not true. I talked to him last week. We were texting last week. That is true. He's good. He's good. He's still flying, y'all. He's still out there. I never really see him. He moved out of New York. He moved back to where his family lives just because the rent in New York was just getting too high and it was just more affordable, I think, where his family lives. And he just wanted to be closer to his family anyway. So he's not living in New York. So I don't see him like I used to. So we never really run into each other anymore. But he's good, y'all. He's doing good. Every time I see something, it's funny online, that I always see things that remind me of him. I sent him this little video the other day of, who was it? It was a Meg Thee Stallion concert, and this guy was up on stage dancing, and he was just dropping it. It was so funny. I had to send it to Frank. I was like, they got footage of you. I was like, you didn't tell me you were on stage with Meg. It was so funny because it reminded me of Frank so much. But yeah, Frankie's good, y'all. Frankie's doing pretty good for himself. Someone asked me, who is this? Truly Tara asked me She wants to know how I handle and navigate through being with Reggie because he's vegan and I am not. She said, is it complicated? I'm vegan and find having a non-vegan partner a bit tricky at times. So I was wondering how it was for the two of you. Do you find you spend more on groceries? Yeah. Do you find yourself eating more vegan? Yeah, just for the sake of simplifying things. Absolutely. I will say 90% of the time I'm at home, I eat vegan just because it's easier. I'm not cooking separate meals. I mean, there are random days where, say like I've made something the night before and I know like Reggie's gonna have like leftovers or something really easy. I might, and I know I don't have to like cook for him that night. During the daytime, if I'm off, I might just like make something that's like specifically for me, meaning like a meat dish. I do that occasionally. Sometimes I'll make chicken and stuff. I bought bacon the other day, y'all. I had bacon. I hadn't had bacon in forever. But for the most part, we at home, dinners are clearly always gonna be vegan because it's gonna be vegan. And when we go out to eat, it's typically always vegan restaurants. Sometimes we'll go to places that is not predominantly vegan, but they have like other options and I can order something non-vegan off the menu, but for the most part it's vegan. Like yesterday we went out to eat at this Ethiopian vegan spot he likes in the city in Brooklyn, and I don't mind it. Like I don't mind eating vegan. There's a lot of things like I don't mind non-meat substitutes. A lot of things I'm not okay with. Like I don't like vegan cheeses. I think they're disgusting and they always upset my stomach if I have vegan cheeses. But yeah, I don't mind it, y'all. It's just when I really want to have something, I will just reserve for like my days off and I might go to the grocery store and make myself some chicken. It's usually like a chicken dish. I did make salmon one time. When I'm on my work trips, I eat, you know, what I want. When I meal prep, I will meal prep non-vegan things. But for the most part, it hasn't been terrible. It's definitely been an adjustment. I spend way more money on food than I used to. Like when I was single, I didn't spend a lot of money on food, y'all. I have always been, like, I'm a very simple eater, and it could be just how I grew up. We grew up really poor, and we grew up just eating, making do, making a meal out of whatever you have. That's just how I am. My mom is still like that to this day, and I don't require a lot to make a meal. Like, I can just go in the fridge and see some bread and have some cheese and just make like a little grilled cheese or a little toast with cheese on it and eat that for a meal. Like that's just how I've always been. I don't need to have like a full-on meal, and that's how I ate when I was single. I didn't need to have a full meal. Most of my meals were like, that's probably why I was so much skinnier back then too. weren't like actual meals. They were more like snacks that I ate for meals. But now it's like, so I just didn't spend a lot of money on grocery, and I was always the queen of like making the most out of something, like making something that I could eat, you know, multiple ways, you know, like a dish that I just could be eaten so many different ways. Like I would like buy chicken breast and maybe make chicken breast, and then just with that like buy salad mix, and then maybe switch some tortillas and some cheese. So for like the week, I would just go through that chicken breast I make and maybe eat wraps one day, and you know, maybe have a salad the next day, and just like stretch that meal. But like with making food for Reggie, it, you know, where did I lose that braid? Y'all hear this? It requires like meal making because he wants an actual meal. He's not gonna go for no snack when he comes home. That's not how he's. And then there's also like lunch prepping for him, and like he likes to have like breakfast in the morning. Well, I don't make him like real breakfast. On the weekends I do, but like during the week, he likes to have like a bagel with his jelly. It's just, there's more food to be bought, and I go to the grocery store way more often than I ever did before in my life. It's the truth, y'all. My grocery bill has quadrupled. It has definitely, I would say I can probably say that honestly, my grocery bill probably has quadrupled. Y'all, does it look like I'm making progress? This isn't too bad. Oh, this one I forgot to clip. I missed it. I'm gonna focus on these and then I'll work onto the other side. You also asked me for tips for traveling. I don't really know if I have any tips, like good tips. What best tips do I have? Look at things that, so booking wise, okay, so best travel months for me, I was actually having this conversation with Reggie, is that I have observed since working for the airline is definitely January and September are the best months to travel as far as places not being as busy and as far as rates being the most affordable, because January after the holidays, most people aren't trying to go anywhere. People are broke from Christmas, so, and they don't have the money, and then they've already taken off time for Christmas, so people just don't typically travel a lot in January, and people also don't travel a lot in September. But I would say September more so after the first week of September. Once you've gotten past the Labor Day week, travel in September greatly drops. Even like the beginning of October too, because kids are going back to school, you know, everybody's back in school, people aren't taking trips. So if you're looking for times when rates on hotels, anything like that, it's like September. I remember when I went to Greece for my 40th birthday and did some island hopping. It was just, I mean, still there was people, but like Santorini and Mykonos was like, it was not a lot of people at all. And that was great. Santorini, of course, was people, but it's still like when I look at people's videos and photos from when they went in the summertime, my trip in September, towards the end of September, was nothing like that. I think I went around like the last week and a half of September. It was great. Even the last island I went to, Eos, yeah. I was the only guest they had staying in the hotel. It was the end of tourist season. It was the end of their season, and there was nobody else in the hotel but me. And I had like the best rate. I think when I was traveling through Greece, I don't think I spent more than like 60 bucks a night on any of the hotels. It was just so cheap. I remember that hotel was great, and it had like it was right across the street from the beach, and they had their own beach chairs, and the guy who ran the place was so nice. He was just so happy to have me there because he didn't have any, I mean, they were making no money. He had nobody else there. And he gave me like all these upgrades just for the heck of it, because why not? And they had a restaurant on site, and I was like the only person who was down there for dinner every night. But I had the best service. People were amazing. So that's a good tip as far as when to travel. Hotel wise, I like to use sites like, I book specifically, I say 98% of my hotels I book using the hotels.com app, and I've been booking with them forever. And what I like about them is that they have like this point system. It is changing now though. They're switching over to this new system that I don't think is based on stays. But anyways, as the way they do it now is, for every 10 nights you book, you get a free night. Well, you get an amount of money towards a free night, and which is great because I try and save those free nights for like last minute. Those have come in saved me so many times. Yeah, my camera died. Like non-revving, and I get stuck in a city and last minute I need to book a hotel. Like I'm using those nights, those free nights that I get from them for stuff like that. And they come in, oh Lord, they've saved me so many times. And it sounds like it'd be a lot, you know, but since I travel so much, I get to those free nights quickly. Like, I think the last time I used one of my free nights was, did I use it? I think I used it when we were coming back from Paris. Yeah, and we got stuck. We couldn't get on a flight. Yeah, I used it in Paris, so the beginning of January, and I think I'm like one stay away now from getting another free night. So I get free nights pretty often. So booking on any of those sites that give you, if you're gonna book a hotel, you might as well just book it consistently through the same company that allows you some type of benefits. I also use this travel site a lot. Me and my best friend have used it. It's called Travel Zoo. I really love them for, I was trying to explain this to Reggie yesterday because he's like, it has to be a scam, like you have to do something. But it's not. Travel Zoo, have you guys ever booked on them before? They have really good deals. Like I was showing him this one deal yesterday where it was 3 nights in Hawaii. Y'all know Hawaii is expensive. 3 nights in Hawaii, including the airfare, per person was like $4.99. And you stay at the Hilton Waikiki. Like that's a nice hotel, y'all, for $499. They have really good, but you did have to fly out of LA for that rate. But they do, sometimes it'll be like that. You have to, with them, you have to fly out specific airports to get that rate. Sometimes it's like you have to, or they'll say it, but if you want to fly out of any of these other airports, it'll give you like a couple different ones. You just have to pay a little extra, maybe like $100 to $150 extra. But $4.99, y'all, for 3 nights in a Hilton Waikiki, including airfare to Hawaii. That's a good deal to me. That's a really good deal. I always tell people they had this, I think I've told you guys, they had that 10 days in China. It was like 5 different cities and tours, meals, and that included the airfare round trip. It was like $399, y'all. So check out Travel Zoo. They have really good deals. It's not, a lot of their deals will include the airfare. Some of them are just like the hotel, but they have really good deals, y'all. And it's not a scam. I know sometimes when you see the prices, you're like, usually when you see the prices, the deals, when you click on them, it'll take you to a travel agency and you book it through a travel agency. But the price they give you is the price it is, and it's no scam. It's just really good deals. And it'll be, a lot of times it's for like specific time frames, like you have to travel in November, or you have to travel in December, or only June. But check out Travel Zoo. You can find some really good deals if you're looking to travel for definitely an affordable price. Oh, someone just said travel advice. What is this? Maribel Milano, she's overwhelmed. She doesn't know where to begin with specific sites. Like I said, Travel Zoo, check them out. Check out likehotels.com, like I said, for booking hotels. I like them. I like to read reviews about what people say. I definitely am a review person. Like, I definitely go by reviews. I also like booking on Airbnb too. I'm a big Airbnb fan. I know not everybody likes to use them, but I like to use Airbnb, especially when it's trips where I'm staying for more than 3 nights. Like if I'm staying for just like 2 or 3 nights, a hotel's cool, but like more than that, and I like an Airbnb because I like to have a place with a kitchen, because I don't want to necessarily have to eat out every single meal for like an extended period of time. So it's nice to have to do Airbnb for that. I, for the most part, had pretty good luck. I know when me and Reggie went to, where the heck did we go? We went to Tulum last year. We kind of had an issue with one of our Airbnbs, and she tried, and I made a comment. I commented, and she tried to bully me and lie, but whatever. I was just being honest. She didn't want to acknowledge what I was saying is true, so I just kind of let it be. I was like, whatever. But you know, I've had pretty good luck with Airbnbs. And how do you plan to get around once I'm traveling? Oh, she's trying to figure out, like, when she gets there, how does she navigate around the city? I'm a big fan of walking. That's one thing I will say that is a big difference between me and Reggie, our travel, how we travel. I love walking everywhere. He's not as much of a fan. He's a look in the cab kind of person. If it's too far, I will be like, when I travel solo, I'll be like, okay, it's only, you know, 8.5 miles away. I can walk that. That's just how I've always traveled. I'm like, oh, I can walk that. And I used to always tell people when I went on vacation, like I would lose so much weight. I would always come back from vacation, you know, so much skinnier than I was before I left, even though I was eating a ton, just because I walked so much. It was very normal for me to hit 15 to 20 miles every day when I was on vacation. When I go to like cities, especially in Europe, when you can just like walk so much and you can walk, there's so much to see. I would just get up every morning and just be out walking the whole day. Stop occasionally, get something to eat, have a drink, continue on. That's just how I get down. But Airbnb, I mean not Airbnbs, Ubers are pretty much everywhere, so it's always good to use the Uber app when you're out walking. My method for when I'm in cities, especially if I'm solo traveling and I'm walking and I'm trying to navigate and I don't necessarily want to look like, because there's like, you don't want to look like you're a tourist, even though a lot of places you're gonna be obvious. Well, for me in a lot of places it's gonna be obvious I'm a tourist, but you don't want to look like you don't know where you're going. So the way I always do it is, before I leave wherever I'm staying, I love Google Maps. Google Maps is the best. I put on Google Maps, put in the address that I'm going. I always will have like an earbud in one ear so that I can hear it, and then I just put my directions on and I put the volume on. So I will walk, and then the speaking one will tell me where to turn. In 90 feet, turn right. So I'm walking and I'm hearing it. I'm not constantly having to look at my phone for my directions and looking like I'm lost. And I usually will go over the map before I leave and kind of get a general idea of when I leave out, the general direction I'm gonna be going, because I don't want to be looking like I'm lost, and because you can kind of set yourself up for people who are trying to take advantage of people looking lost. I always want to look like I know where I'm going. So I'll keep that one earbud in, you know, and I just listen for the directions as I'm walking. So Google Maps, it never seems to fail me. I love Google Maps. Yeah, it's always very accurate. She said always gives her anxiety. Don't have anxiety, girl, just go. Just get out there. You gotta travel. There's something very, I feel like if you're looking to like solo travel, once you do your first one, it's like you'll feel like you can do anything. My first solo trip was that's not true. I took my first solo trip, y'all, when I was like 17 or 18. It was right after I graduated high school, because I've always been, I'm gonna do what I want. I remember it was after I graduated high school and I just wanted to go somewhere, and I lived in Seattle. We had traveled as kids, like I had been places, and you know, Southwest, they still do, but they would do the cheap deals. And I remember they had like it was like $50 each way to like California, and it was like, I picked San Diego, so I think the plane ticket was like $100. So I was like, I'm gonna go. So I bought that, and I remember I booked a hotel. I had to have been 18 at the time, because I don't think they would have let me check into the hotel if I wasn't 18. But I booked a hotel. I don't remember. It was probably cheap too. And I just flew to San Diego, and I remember I just went by myself and I just walked around. I did sightseeing. I went to the zoo. I remember the hotel I stayed at was like right downtown, and I could walk to everything. So yeah, that was my first like solo trip. I had so much fun, and once I started flying, my first solo international trip was, I started flying, and it was like a March of 2016. And as soon as like my official, it takes a while for your like, back then it took a while for like your flight minutes, I don't know if they still do it the same, kicked in. But I remember August, or was it July, I took my first international trip by myself. I flew to Madrid. No, I flew to Lisbon, and I spent 3 or 4 days in Lisbon. I think 3 days in Lisbon, and then I took the train from Lisbon and went to Madrid, and I spent like 3 days in Madrid, and I had a great time. Solo travel, I love it. I've always been a person who, yeah, I'm a pretty introverted person, and I'm a person who does well by themselves and does not get bored in their own company. So solo travel for me has always been cool, because I like, you know, being able to stick to my own schedule, get up when I want to, leave out when I want to, go where I want to on my trips, and not have to kind of be on someone else's wants and lists. But yeah, I had a great time, and I've done a bunch of solo travel. Where else have I traveled solo to? I did that Lisbon and Madrid. I went to Greece, obviously. I did Italy by myself. I've done Mexico by myself. Internationally, where else did I go by myself? I think that might be all international that I went solo. Of course, I've done a bunch of domestic trips by myself, just going random places. But girl, get out there, travel the world, see things. Vanilla bean extract has question. This is about flying. She says, how different is the flight attendant application process today compared to when you first started? I don't think it's any different. I think it's the same process. You just apply online. I know with my company, they did a like virtual interview first. Well, when I got hired, okay, so I think it jumps back and forth. When I got hired honestly via a virtual interview, and I did that, and they invited me to training. A lot of companies do that. A lot of companies will go by that alone. A lot of companies will do virtual and then invite you to do it in person. And then once you do the in person, usually that process happens. You usually get, I think you typically will get hired on the spot. They let you know that day if you're gonna move forward, and then you go to training. You said you applied, but I was turned down after a few steps, thinking about trying. And keep trying, girl. There's people, you just gotta keep trying, because if it's something you wanna do, I know people who've applied to airlines, you know, 5-6 times before they finally got hired within the airline. So if it's something you really want to do, I say go for it. But also, you know, think about if it's really, I don't know what your life situation is. Like now that I'm in this job, I don't think that, oh, this little braid. See, all my hair had broken off in the front. Can you see that? Well, I did it to myself. Long story, y'all. It's a long story. It's a long story. It's just hair. It's gonna grow back. I honestly don't think that if I did it again, if I did this life again, I probably would not do this job. I think this job is a great job for somebody who either is young and doesn't really have a lot of responsibilities financially or just in general, because when you start off, you're not going to be making a lot of money, and that can be hard. So I would not suggest, if you're in a position where you're making a good amount of money, you have a decent job that pays you well, I would second guess becoming a flight attendant, because eventually you can get to the point where you're making decent money, but it takes a while. So you're gonna take a huge pay cut, and that's just the way it's gonna go. Now, I see a lot of people who come in who are, you know, not in their 20s, older. I was like 37 when I started, but you know, it's a second career for them, and maybe, you know, you're married and your husband makes a decent income and your household isn't dependent. If your household is dependent on your income, this is funny, what should I say? This may not be for you to start off with right now. Because the people you see in the airlines probably doing really well and making good money have probably been in the airlines for 20, 30, 40 years. That's why they're doing well. So if you at this current point in time of your life are supporting your household 100%, I probably wouldn't do it. I took a huge pay cut when I took this job, and I really had to cut back on my expenses and my weight, how I lived, and the money I spent to make it work. One of my biggest blessings was being able to be based in a city I live in, because that's another thing. You may not get based where you live, and that, if you're already not making a lot of money, and now you have to commute to a city and you have to pay for a crash pad in a city, which could cost you a couple $100s a month, but you're still paying for where you live at. It's expensive. So yeah, if you're a young person who's interested in traveling the world and you don't have a lot of financial responsibilities, I would say go for it. I would say definitely apply for one of the mainline airlines like Delta, American, United, Southwest, one of those, because that's where you're gonna get the real money. I work for a regional, and I only recommend a regional for someone who's in the other stage, like I said, whose income is not, household is not dependent on their income. who's maybe in the older age, over 35, I would say, because it's just more conducive to, regionals are more conducive to someone who's like over 35, because one, the flights are shorter that we operate, and you're not doing any like overnight red eyes. Because I'm gonna tell you something, I'm 44 years old. You cannot pay me to do a red eye flight. I would die, because I need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. And it's just like, I need to go to bed. So we don't, you know, operate red eyes. We don't do stuff like that. Our flights, you know, I like having early report times and be to the hotel by like 1. We can work more flights a day than mainline, but they're always shorter flights. So I guess it just depends on where you're at in life. Let me know what your situation is with, girls. So let me know more about you, and then I can tell you if this is something that... Training was horrible. You also asked me how training was. I'm not even gonna lie, training was horrible. It was the worst 3.5 weeks of my life. I thought about leaving day 1, but I said, Amanda, you're gonna stick through it, and you're gonna make it work. You're gonna make it work. I just hated it. I hated every minute of it. I hated every day of it. It was, I don't know. Training sucked. But I will say this, I have heard from, and I think my training experience was really due to my specific airline that I work at, because when I talked to other people from other airlines, their training was not as bad. And even at my company, I think since I started 7 years ago, the training, how they do training has changed, and it's not as bad as it used to. Just my specific experience 7 years ago, training was a nightmare. I hated every minute of it. Says, how often do you go back for training? You go back every year. We have what is called recurrent, and you go back usually the month after. Like my start month was March. I go every April for recurrent, and you just brush up on things like CPR, emergency drills, and stuff like that. And you have an exam at the end, which you have to pass. I mean, you're pretty much always gonna pass it. The only time you really have to be stressed about it is maybe like your very first recurrent, just because you've never done it before. But you're gonna pass it. You go, you do your drills, you practice, and then you go home, and then you're good to fly another year. Also, she said, do other airline positions offer standby perks? Yeah, you can pretty much, we can pretty much fly standby on, well, we can fly standby on any of the US carriers. And there's a large majority of the international carriers that we can fly standby on as well. So for like that, it's called non-revving, like on the airlines you work on. But when you're like, I don't even know what Z stands for, ZED. But it's pretty much when you list on one of the airlines that you do not work for. But yeah, I've used many of the international airlines when traveling. And it comes in handy too. It makes getting places so much easier because you have way more options of airlines you can take. She says, love your hairstyle. Girl, right now? Really? Thank you. My hair's a mess, y'all. I don't even know what I want to do with my hair and eat more. She said, have I been to my dream place? Yes, I have, yes. 2 of my dream destinations were Greece and Italy, and I have been to them. I've been to Italy twice now. I want to go back to Greece because there's so many Greek islands that I want to visit. There's so many of them, and yeah, I really want to go back to Greece. One of my friends, he's been traveling the past week or so through Greece, and he was in Italy. I was like, it's so funny. He posted a picture from the Trevi Fountain, and I was like, oh, we missed each other by like 2 weeks in Italy. That would have been amazing. But his pictures of Greece were just, I was like, yeah, I gotta get back to Greece. It was absolutely, Greece is probably one of the prettiest places I have been to thus far. If I could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? I have like always had this like vision of living somewhere. I say for what I want, it would probably be like in Europe, because I envision myself living in like a really cute little city, you know, that has like great city vibes, but it's also close to the beach, like the ocean. Like I gotta be near the ocean. I don't really want to do any of like, I can't imagine myself living in any of like the Caribbean islands because it's just not enough. There's no city for me. I feel like I would get bored with that really quickly, living on an island. But I do love being near the beach, so I always think that like Europe someplace would be good, because then I could get to like the ocean really quickly, but then I could still have like my little city experience. Yo, this braid is stuck. I'm stuck. She asked me, does your job have a retirement package? Like as far as like you can retire from my company with flight benefits for not, because we fly at my company for 3 different airlines, and I think only one of them actually offers us their flight retirement benefits. And so in order to get those, I have to be at the company for 10 years and I think 52. So I am currently 44 and I've been with the company for 7 years. So we'll see if I make it to 52 to even get those. She says, how many years do you have to retire? I guess when, I don't know. I mean, I know Reggie plans on retiring in like 10 years. So maybe around the time he retires, I will too. Because he has like 10 more years in his company before he was going to retire. So maybe we'll retire around the same time. So maybe when we're like 55. Someone said, stories of some of the crazy people who have decided to fly and act up at 35,000 feet in the air. I don't know. Do I have any really crazy stories? I don't know if I don't think I have any. I mean, I've heard some really crazy stories. I don't think I've ever really honestly experienced anyone to, I've never really had to like, that's not true. I've had people removed. I did have an incident it's been probably a couple months now, where it was just really stupid, and it was just really dumb, and he brought it on himself. So we were boarding, and I was assisting an elderly passenger with getting on the plane and getting her stuff put away, and just kind of like, you know. And the gentleman passed by me, and he asked me, I didn't really get what he was saying at first, but then I realized, because when he first said it, I was like, what? But then I realized he said, is there military seating? And I was like, I didn't know what he meant. And I was like, no. I was like, no, there's no military seating. And I realized later he was asking me like if he gets upgraded for military. And I was like, and I looked at him, he wasn't in uniform. And I know that the gate agents, if you identify yourself with the gate agents as active military, they will, if it's available, they'll upgrade you to first class. But that is something that goes through the gate agents. So I don't take it upon myself to deal with that, because that's not something that I'm responsible for. And I don't take it upon myself to upgrade anybody, because that's not my job. I am not supposed to be upgrading people. That is handled via the gate agent. So I told this man, and he wasn't in uniform, so I told him, no, there's no military seating. And then I just went about my business, finished the boarding process. He didn't say anything to me else about it. He went and sat, and he was sitting with his wife. And then, we do this thing on our planes where sometimes we have to move people around for weight and balance, just to balance out the planes. So oftentimes we have to move people from the back to more forward, just to balance the plane. So the captain had us move people. I don't remember how many it was, but I think it was probably like around 6 people. So he was one of the people. I grabbed him and his wife, and I moved them not to first class, because the captain will tell us which section. So he'll say from this section to this section. So I moved the people from the section he told me to the section he told me. And it was the section like right behind first class. So it's an upgraded section. There's more leg room. It's a bigger seat, you know, comes with, you know, some perks. He moved, he didn't say anything. I moved him and his wife. They didn't say anything. I went about my business. I moved everybody, let the captain know everybody had been moved. We started our safety demo, and I'm in the middle of the safety demo, and I noticed this man is like putting his phone up like this. And so I'm like, and I see him like looking at it, and I see the person behind him look over his shoulder and look at the phone. And I'm like, this man is filming me. So I say to this man, I said, sir, are you filming me? Because if y'all didn't know, it's against the law. You can't film crew members. You can't do that. You can't film people like that. And it actually does say it on the plane in the book that is in your seat back pocket. You can't film people on the plane. It's not, you can't film crew members like that. You shouldn't be filming anybody without their permission. So I'm at this point, I'm not understanding why he's filming me. So I said to him, sir, are you filming me? And he said, yeah, I'm filming you, and you know, and I'll be sending this to your supervisor or something, because I'm ex-military and I know how things work. And when he said that, I realized he was referring to that I didn't like give him military seating. And I was like, sir, you can't film me. I was like, please stop filming me. And he kept filming me. So I was like, okay. So I finished the demo and I went and called my captain and I said, this gentleman is filming me. And I asked him to stop and he's still filming me. So he was like, okay. So he's like, we'll go back to the gate. We already pushed back from the gate. So he called customer service, called the supervisor, explained what was going on. And we went back to the gate and they came on and swiftly took this man and his wife right off the flight. Because, sir, why are you filming me? And he was also threatening to, he was saying something like, I'm going to send this to your supervisor and they're going to handle you. They're going to take care of you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you so mad you didn't get first class? And first of all, first class upgrade for military, y'all. It's for active military. And typically either in our military in uniform. He was retired military. He wasn't even an active military member. And we were flying to like a city where it's a high military, where there's military bases. So it's like, do you know how many probably active or ex-military members are actually, people were actually on this flight, and you think you're special, like you should just be sitting in first class? You're not even active military anymore. And I don't handle upgrades. That's not my thing. I mean, that's something that doesn't go through me. I can't take it upon myself. That has to go through the gate agent. And so when the gate agent came on, she's like, well, we don't have anyone listed that listed as active military. I was like, well, he says he's retired military. And she's like, oh, well, you don't just automatically get an upgrade because you're retired military. And so I was like, but, and for you to like throw a fit about it and like threaten to get me fired and you're gonna go to my suit, when I was never even rude to you about it. Like, I was just simply like, when you asked me if we had military seating, I was like, no, we don't, because I didn't even know what you were talking about. People are just weird, y'all. People are just freaking weird. And I don't understand like the entitlement of you thinking that you're more special than anybody else on that plane, and that because I didn't treat you special that you're gonna get me fired. Sir, I'm doing my job. I'm doing the job like I'm paid to do. I do what my captain tells me to do. I do what I'm supposed to do, and I don't do what I'm not supposed to do. And what I'm not supposed to do is just be automatically upgrading, because I don't know who's already on the upgrade list that should be next to get upgraded. I don't know. So I'm not just gonna jump over them to put you up, and then a person who legit was supposed to be the next to be upgraded doesn't get upgraded. I'm not gonna do that. That's for the gate agent to decide. That is not in my job description. And if my captain tells me to move people from here to there, I'm gonna move people from here to there. And that is just the way it goes. And if you got a problem with it, I don't know what to tell you. So that was a couple months ago, but for the most part, I don't have too many crazy stories. Y'all got the braids out. My hair, it needs to be detangled and combed through. Ugh. It looks so gross. Can you see it? Looks like I have a Jerry curl. Oh, it's so dirty. Let me just pull this back for now because I look crazy. And then let's see. What other questions do I have? Oh, look at you, Vanilla Bean Extract, jumping in here again with another question. She said, I'm back with more questions. Okay. What skills do you wish you knew? Skills that I wish I knew. I want to learn like cybersecurity stuff. I keep seeing these ads for it, and I keep seeing people talk about it on TikTok. And I think I'm gonna sign up for the Google course they have. I kind of want to learn how to do that. I do. And also still want to do my real estate stuff. What is one talent that you have that we don't know about? I wish I could tell you. I wish I could sing, y'all. That's one talent I always wish I had. I wish I could sing. Really wish I could sing. I sing all the time and I sound horrible. I actually wish I sounded good. I wish I had like an actual legit like talent, like some artsy skill or something. I'm always just like in awe of people who can do something, draw, paint, just sing, like play an instrument, people who can just do stuff and they're really good at it. I'm always like just so in awe of people, and I think it's amazing. But God did not give me any special talents. I'm sorry, I wish. Do you speak any other languages? I do not. You think I would have picked up Spanish more than I have living here in the Bronx. The thing is, I took Spanish in high school, but yeah. Which language would you like to learn? Spanish, just because it would be helpful to everyday life. Portuguese would be cool, which is, you know, similar to Spanish. What are your hobbies? Do you draw? Do pottery? Knit? Sleeping is a big hobby for me. I love to read. I like being outside. I like running. I like walking. I just like being outdoors and just getting fresh air. But like hobbies, I don't have any. I wish I did. I should probably pick one up. What do y'all suggest? My niece started knitting recently, and apparently she's really good at it. So maybe she can teach me how to knit. What are your favorite wine, red or white? Definitely white. I can't do no red wine. Oof. I don't know how you guys drink red wine. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm all about white wine or sparkling wine. Yes, thank you, thank you. She said, she said, I'm about to go biggie on you. What your interests are, who you be with. She said, living in NY, do you have a favorite season? Summertime. Summertime in New York is the best, you guys. What type of food and restaurant experience? Eating out anywhere. Eating out anywhere. I love sushi. Clearly, I don't get enough of it because of he who lives in this house with me. I wish I got more sushi outings. It's one of my favorites. What's your go-to meal to make? Probably some type of pasta dish because it's always quick and easy. Super quick, super easy. Did you get your real estate license? No, I need to retake the course because I do not remember anything that I learned in that course. I think this time when I do it, I'm gonna go to an actual school, like in-person school, instead of doing it online. I did the online thing. God, I feel like that was like 2 years ago and I don't remember anything. I was trying to like review and I'm just like, I don't even know. How are you getting along with the world of real estate? So far, we have not become friends because I have not had an opportunity to pursue it because of my schedule, but I'm just gonna pray that part-time flying is gonna be on the horizon so that I can actually pursue it. Favorite shows, my favorite TV shows. I don't know if I have a favorite TV show anymore. I used to. I feel like nowadays I just watch whatever Reggie's watching at nighttime. That's what I watch. During the daytime, I'll watch like a lot of YouTube. I love watching a lot of like nature shows and documentaries, crime shows. I watch a lot of crime shows. But usually in the evening when he comes home, he watches a show and I just kind of watch whatever he's watching. Favorite genres and favorite movies. I love a good documentary. Always love a good documentary. Like a good thriller, suspense thriller is good. I'm not really big on horror because I scare very easily, so I typically stay away. I did watch on the plane coming back from Italy that movie Smile. Have y'all seen that? That was very disturbing. That was very disturbing. Yeah, very disturbing. Do I prefer scripted shows or reality TV? I hate reality TV. Can I be honest with you? I hate it. I hate it. I don't watch any of, like, I will admit this, y'all. I have never watched any of the Love and Hip Hop, Real Housewives, any of those shows. I hate those type of shows so much. They're so fake. I have not watched any of those type of shows probably since The Real World. That was good. That was good TV back in the day, The Real World. But I just don't watch. I used to watch Survivor with my mom back in the day. I guess that's a reality show, but I don't watch any reality shows. It's just not my thing. They're just so fake and I just hate that. So I definitely will pick like a good scripted show or a good documentary. I'm always gonna pick a documentary or some type of true crime show or just like a really good scripted like drama or something. But yeah, me and reality TV do not go on. But yeah, I think that's all of the questions that were proposed to me. Is that everything? Hold on, let me just make sure. Yeah, I feel like that's all the questions, y'all. Thank you for submitting all the questions for me. It gave me time to take out this hair. I'm gonna wash it now, deep condition it. Probably the deep conditioner on all night. Oh my god, I'm glad to just be able to scrub my hair. I think my next style, well, I already made my appointment. My next style, I'm gonna do faux locks, but I kind of want, like, let me show you what I want. I found a photo and I sent it to my stylist. I think it's actually a video. This is, hold on, I'm trying to sound. This is the style I want, these faux locks, this length. Like, how cute are those, y'all? I really, yeah, that's the style I want. So I made an appointment for next week. So for the meantime, I'm just gonna, you know, rock my hair, whatever. I can't decide what I want to do with my hair, y'all. The front part of it is broken because I relaxed it myself. I think I over processed it and it just, it broke off. It's hair, it'll grow back. It's already started to grow. I have like this much new growth on that section. So it's growing. I guess I'm gonna keep relaxing it, and I'm not relaxing it myself anymore. I know that. I just don't know, y'all. I'm kind of over having hair in general. It's a pain in my arse, but I think that's it for the video, you guys. Thank you for all your questions you submitted. I enjoyed doing this. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. If you have any responses or any additional questions, just leave them down in the comments below. I will respond to them. I'm trying to get better with responding to everyone. I have this condition called I get lazy with everything. I get lazy with everything. But this has been fun, you guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you've not subscribed already. Like I said, I will link my Instagram down in the description box. Feel free to follow me. We can be friends there. I'm trying to be more consistent with it. And I will see you guys next time.